Hello everybody and welcome back to another wonderful round here at Slipstream Racing. This is going to be round 9 and we're headed to a different track, let's just say. This is PGO International 0.9.1. Location to be determined. FIA grade 1. Length is going to be 3.6 miles long. 46 feet in width with 118 feet of elevation change. The track features 4 layouts, GP layouts with and without chicanes, and a national layout with a different pit lane. 32 grid slots, pit spots available for all the layouts, and this is going to be exciting. This is a track that I've never seen before, so I'm excited to see how the drivers end up faring on this imaginary racing circuit on Assetto Corsa. Without any further delay, let's get to seeing what the drivers are all up to on the racing circuit. We've got 7 drivers out on circuit tonight, and let's take a look at what Mr. Cody Lawrence is doing. Speaking of Cody Lawrence, the man is leading the championship with some dominant victories. Only 2 silver medals for him and 1 bronze medal. Bronze being at Estoril and Sepang and Silverstone being where he got bested by Sean Moriarty and Jaden Neal. Jaden Neal, haven't seen him running in a couple of races now. He missed the last round at the Red Bull Ring, and I don't see him here at PGO International Circuit. It might be Cody Lawrence's race to win yet again. Sean Moriarty still holds on to P2 with 119 points, but Matt Chivry closing down the gap with 97 points, taking a bronze medal at the Red Bull Ring and getting an extra point for the fastest lap of the event as well. Pete Rader in 4th place with 84 points, and he's done pretty well for himself. Trent H., Mr. Consistency, after not being able to start the round at Fuji and getting a disqualification at Pinwheel when he teleported to pit lane due to him getting stranded in the gravel. He's had a drop in his points. He's normally finished around 4th place, but has since not been able to continue to do so. Then we have Colin Edwards running in 6th place with 80 points, 2 points adrift from Trent H. The gap is also 2 points from Trent H. and Pete Rader up in front. Matt Chivry is leading by 13 points right now over Rader. Jaden Neal, the hit-miss hit of his attendance so far has left him in 7th place. 66 points to his name. James Shorter in 8th. And we have Grant Worley in 9th. Cody Fowers in 10th. Brian Earl in 11th. Twisted Jack in 12th. Cameron Ketchen in 13th. And then we have Jake Deschamps running in 14th. Looking at the team standings, Red Bull leads with 189 points in front of Scuderia Ferrari with 181 points. Then we have the McLaren team running with 155. the Prism Racing JWI team with 117 points. And then the Sauber team with 66 points. Aston Martin is in 6th with 44 points. Panther Racing with 40 points. Mercedes with 8th place and 22 points. Flips Racing with 21 points. Blue Flags Racing Gambit with 19 points in 10th. Formula None in 11th. A Team Has No Name in 12th with 9 points. And that's going to be it for the standings so far. Pete Rader leads the timing tower with a 124.7. Trent H in second place with his 125.417. And he's sitting in pit lane right now. And Cody Lawrence in third place at 127.1 as he crosses the start-finish straight, unable to improve that previous lap time. Cody Fowler is sitting in the pits, 127.2. James Shorter with a 129.1. Colin Edwards and Twisted Jack not setting times. Colin Edwards just now setting that personal best. A 125.334 will be that personal best. And let's go on board with Colin Edwards and see how he's doing. Coming around 3, 4, 5 now. That'll be the end of Sector 1. And coming in through Turn 8, a slight little kink, and then head towards the tower. This will be the hairpin of Turn 11. 12, 13, 14 are a couple of quick switchbacks, mostly flat out here. A little bit of oversteer there for Colin Edwards. He's not improving through that Sector 1. He's got Trent H behind him by just a little bit of time. Not only on the tower, but also on the racing circuit. He's behind him. You can see that third place car just drifting a little further back, all the way up into 8th gear as we approach turn 19, 20, and 21. And that'll be it for Colin Edwards' attempt as he dips off into the pit lane. It's a long pit lane here at PGO International, so we're trying to figure out what the drivers will decide to do as they pick their pit lane problems. Pete Rader sitting in P1, a 124.750. He's about to come through what looks like turn 14 and 15. And then coming all the way up to the top, this is going to be turn 19, 20, and 21. And getting to the start-finish straight, let's ride on board with Rader for a full lap as he approaches turn 1, late on the brakes, getting it turned in, down into third gear, using all the track width that he possibly can on exit, shifting all the way up into 8th gear again on the braking zone for the following turn. This is going to be turn 3 technically, and turn 4 and turn 5 are quick little switchbacks, and then all our way down into 6, 7, 8, 9, and all the way up to turn 10. This is where the second DRS detection point is, and the next zone. Coming out of turn 11, again, fast and flowy here, mostly flat out coming through this sector, 12, 13, 14, 15. Swooping around through 18 now. Pete Rader has found purple lap times yet again. Tiny improvements here and there. Getting to the line, this will be a nice improvement for Rader, a 124.1 this time around. And it looks like Cody Lawrence can't be on top all the time. 127.1 is all he wrote for himself. Colin Edwards in P2 with a 125.334. Trent H with that 25.4. 26.6 for Cody Fowers. Twisted Jack with a 26.7. Cody Lawrence with a 127.1 and Shorter with a 29.1. Last attempt? I don't think so. Colin Edwards now going purple through Sector 1, green only through Sector 2 is all he's found. And he's coming around the final couple of corners now. Let's see if he can maintain this speed as he gets to the line, punching out of the final corner. Dragging it to the line. Will it be enough to best Pete Rader out on top? No, a 124.6 is all he wrote in the number 2 McLaren. And he's going to be half a second away from Pete Rader out in P1. James Shorter finding some improvement through Sector 2, but not doing the same in Sector 1 as he comes around the final corner. This might be some improvement to be had, but not nearly enough to find any gaps between himself and Cody Lawrence. Switching over to Cody as he gets through turns 3, 4, and 5. Mr. Jack actually looking to improve though, as he gets next to be across the finish line. The 4th place car of Cody Fowers has decided to come into the pits. 7.5 minutes remaining, plenty of time to still get out there and do some justice on the racing circuit. Mr. Jack gets to the line, and it looks like that'll be it for Pete Rader, disqualified for teleporting to the pits at 124.1, and he won't be able to improve any further. Twisted Jack 126.7 will be his best qualifying time. 7 minutes left on the clock, and the times are ticking away. It's going to be a 35-lap race around PGO. That'll put our running time right around that 50-minute mark that we've seen time and time again. Keeping an eye on the live timing, I'm seeing Cody Lawrence just flicker back and forth between his personal best and green times and orange times. Not necessarily going the right way for him right now. He's up about a half a second. But he's coming through the final sector now. This definitely won't be one to write home about for Cody Lawrence. He's actually driving the yellow banded tires. Cody Lawrence on a C3 compound tire, while all the other drivers are out on the C4 compound. Cody Lawrence 127.121. will still be his best. A 1:27.6 was that previous lap that he set. Now with 5 minutes left to go, I don't think Cody's really going to have enough time to come into the pit lane, change out his tire to the softer compound, and then get out there running again. So he might start in 6th place for this event. Again, Pete Rader disqualified for teleporting to the pits, and Colin Edwards will hold on to 2nd place for now. All the drivers coming out of pit lane now. Colin Edwards, Cody Fowers, Twisted Jack, and Shorter all on the racing circuit. Trent H, the only one of the drivers that is still sitting in pit lane that could possibly set a lap. And Trent H falls out of contention, disconnecting from the server just now. Hopefully he'll be back in. He's got 4 minutes to figure things out before we get running for the race session. And Cody Lawrence again still not being bested, a 1:27.7 that last lap around. Something tells me he's doing a last to first challenge this race. Especially driving those medium compound tires for the qualifying session. Trent H is back in the session officially. 3 minutes left on the clock by the end of my spiel. And I don't think Trent is going to get another crack at it. Cody Lawrence invalidating his lap there. Let's check out if Colin Edwards is looking to improve as he comes through Sector 1. Improving by about just a 1/10 of a second, but losing it coming in through turn 4 and 5. He's gone purple for Sector 1 by just nearly a 1/10 of a second. But he's going to have to keep holding on to some of that grip that he just lost there coming out of turn 11. And that'll be a Beyblade Colin Edwards spinning his car around like a top. That'll be it for Colin Edwards in his attempt for the qualifying session, a 1:24.6 with 1:50 remaining in the session. Trent coming out of pit lane now, trying to do his best to get a lap done and dusted before the session goes live. And we're still seeing Cody Lawrence driving around on those medium compound tires. He has decided to not come into the pit lane. This will leave a battle between Rader and Colin Edwards on the table. Just 4 points separating P1 and P2 in the championship standings between Rader and Edwards. Trent H caught in the middle with the 2 points separating the two drivers. Cody Fowler sitting in 10th place right now with 22 points. And Twisted Jack sitting in 12th with 19 points. Cody Lawrence, of course, leading the championship right now with 189 points. And Cody Fowler is coming down pit road now. That'll be the end of Trent H's qualifying, and then that'll leave Twisted Jack on the table. And no longer being the case, Pete Rader leads over Colin Edwards, Trent H in third, Cody Fowers in fourth, fifth for Twisted Jack, Cody Lawrence in sixth, James Shorter in seventh. And that'll be it for this qualifying stint. Just ticking away now as we wait for the drivers to get gridded up for the start of this event. Checkered flag flailing in the wind there. Looks like he's twirling it with his thumb and his forefinger. Quite the animation we have here at PGO. And what a wonderful circuit this is, actually. Beautiful Rolex banner. PGO International Circuit by 00. Nice Rolex clock. MSC Cruises sponsor. Heineken sponsor as well. There's a monorail running in the background. That's kind of cool. This is quite the show we have here. The qualifying session officially concluded. That'll be Rader, Edwards, Trent H, 1, 2, 3. Cody Fowers at the back of row 2. Twisted Jack in 5th. Right next to him will be Cody Lawrence, and then James Shorter in 7th. Gonna have to keep an eye on the tire strategy and see what Cody Lawrence decides to run. And this is a league that runs real penalty, unlike a lot of others. So track limits violations will become a thing here. Although we will see drivers punished more so by the gravel that they run across. And as we saw, a couple of drivers getting stranded in those gravel pits, really being the detriment to their qualifying session. Although didn't really shake up the order too much. Most drivers falling where they were supposed to. And just idling away the time, I wish I had some track stats for you. Although this is a made-up circuit, so I don't have much to go off of other than the 21 corners that we have here. FIA Grade 1 circuit. The length is 3.6 miles long. The drivers, thankfully, have gotten gridded up for me. And we're just going to be a short while away from the start of this one. Looks like all the drivers are on the C3 compound, with Trent H the only driver on the C2 compound. And we're waiting for the 5 lights to get illuminated on that Christmas tree, and then away we will go. Headed down the kink and in towards turn 1. Yes, and I can confirm Trent H is the only driver that would be on the C2 compound. All others on the C3, as far as I can tell. Pete Rader in P1, Colin Edwards trailing behind in P2, and the Christmas tree is about to get lit up. Five lights are on. And green, 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 away we go. Rader leads over Edwards. Trent H in the background. There goes Cody Lawrence making moves, slicing and dicing his way forward. Twisted Jack watching the action go down in front of him. Cody Lawrence already leapfrogs his way in towards P3 right off the start. He's done a good job of that breakaway. Now looking at Twisted Jack and Trent H. Cody Fowers gets a 5-second penalty for DRS activation, it looks like, and in through the kink. It looks like he's a little bit slow through there. It's all topsy-turvy, upside down for some of the drivers, and it's looking positively swell for others. Coming into turn 11 already on this lap. Cody Lawrence half-second away from Pete Rader out in second place. And now that he's on a similar compound tire than the rest of the drivers, I wonder the pace differential is really going to be. Green flag running for all the drivers. Cody Fowers in 7th place, just getting through 12 and 13 now. Actually nose to tail for two of the Audi drivers, Twisted Jack and James Shorter, both driving the Audi liveries. And there goes Trent H trying to make a move coming up the inside of turn 1. Can't find the daylight to make a move. Shorter covers it off fairly well. Half-second gap between Rader and Colin Edwards. Half-second gap back to Cody Lawrence also. Cody Lawrence trying to trail down Pete Rader out in second. Laps coming down just a little bit there. DRS flap opening and closing for Trent H as he comes down. We back straight and into turn 11 we go. Ooh, and there was a big shunt from Shorter. Going off into the gravel. Shorter might be stranded, actually. Let's see if he is or not. He's getting the car rolling again, so thankfully not too stranded. Rader and Edwards battling it out, and this is going to allow Cody Lawrence to get involved in this battle. And this is not what they want coming into the end of lap 2, is giving Cody Lawrence a chance at gold. They want to work together, or they should want to work together right now to keep Cody Lawrence at bay. Cody looking to the inside line at the exit of turn 1, but there's not enough room there for him to make a move. And now Colin Edwards is trying to get that move back done on Raider, and he is able to get the move done and dusted. Only for how long, though, as the number 2 and the 55 continue to run side by side. Again, all this battling is allowing Cody Lawrence to trail back into this one. And again, they should be working together to try to escape the clutches of Cody Lawrence, and not doing any such thing on this occasion. Cody Lawrence looking to the inside line going into turn 11, and he gives Pete Raider the big spooky boo and forces a little bit of a lockup, and he almost went a little too deep in the line. Cody Lawrence 4/10 away from Raider, and Raider 6/10 away from Colin Edwards. It's all looking good now, except for Raider's point of view. He's got Cody Lawrence in his rear view, and they're getting awfully close to each other on the racing circuit, and it's getting tight and twisty, folks. There goes Cody Lawrence on the inside line, able to get the move done. Yes, indeed, at turn 1. And that was a long fought move. Only took 3 laps to get it done, but he's been fighting tooth and nail for every single corner that he can get his hands on. Cody Lawrence clearly not showing his real race pace in the qualifying session. Looking at making a move into turn 11 yet again. Look to give Colin Edwards the big scare this time around, but Colin Edwards is driving his own line. 3/10 up on Cody. And then Raider 5/10 back. Still in this DRS train that we have. Battle for 1, 2, and 3. And this one won't give in anytime soon. I can only imagine so. Cody again trying to sell that dummy to Colin Edwards, but Edwards not really buying into that one. And he's awfully close to that rear wing of that Marvel McLaren. Number 2. Keeps on trying to stick his nose in going in towards turn 1, side by side on exit. Concludes with Colin Edwards running in front of Lawrence. And back to single file, running nose astern between all 3 of these drivers. Just 1 second, nearly, if that, separating the 3 drivers on the racing circuit. Let's check out this rear wing camera from Colin Edwards' vehicle. Slinking time one way than the other. Pete Raider has a chance to slow down Cody Lawrence. There it is, a move up the inside line. Will he get the overlap completed on Cody? No. Cody getting the overspeed going in towards turn 1, and that'll be a pass for position. Over the hill we go, and now Cody is going to walk away with P1, or will he? In this 35 lap event, we've just completed lap 5, and there goes Raider into the pit wall. Not even sure what happened there, but that was a ton of damage that he succumbed. Wowza, a big shunt into the pit wall, and hopefully he does not have a direct drive wheel. Otherwise he'll be feeling that one shooting down his arm and into his wrists. Raider, with all that damage, has to pull over to the side. Oh man, and he is just not having a good day anymore. Pete Rader down 4 positions off the good. Started off in first place, now sitting in 5th. Terrible run for him. So unfortunate. Not even sure what happened there. Just got a huge snap of oversteer. And into the pit wall he goes, and bad goes to worse for Pete Rader right now. Coming through turn 15. Cody Lawrence, who started off in 6th position, is up 5 on the day. Twisted Jack working his way up into 3rd place, and he started in 5th, obviously. Trent H started in 3rd, has lost 1 position to Twisted Jack. And Pete Rader is in the pit lane now, hitting on lap 7 of 35. And the gap's already opened up to around 1 second from Cody Lawrence to Colin Edwards. And a 2nd place finish will tie Colin Edwards for his best result. He got 2nd place last week at the Red Bull Ring, so hoping to match that. He's been on a form of good running since he's come back into this championship. A 3rd place, a 4th place, and a 2nd place. .8 for Twisted Jack and for Trent H. Keeping around the same time and consistency between themselves. But we do know that one driver in particular, that'll be Trent H, is on a different compound tire than the rest of the field. He is driving on that C2 compound, while the rest of the field is on the C3 compound. So perhaps not his true race pace. Pete Rader switches over to the C2 compound himself. Running the hard compound for as long as possible for Pete Rader to try to make up some positions. There goes Trent H up the inside line on Twisted Jack. The move will be done and dusted then. For the final corner into the braking zone of the penultimate corner is where he got the move done. And it's a breakaway drive for Trent H now. Checking in with Colin Edwards and Cody Lawrence running up at the front of the field. 7/10 the gap separating the two of them. The McLaren trails the Red Bull car. Trent H has a green sector 1. Colin Edwards pulls out a purple sector 2 on this lap. So the race might not be over between Colin Edwards and Cody Lawrence. This is the closest we've seen them to each other on the track in a long time, 27-3 to 27-4. Not too far off. Just a couple of thousandths separating the two drivers between 1 and 2. The 11th place, or excuse me, the number 11 car leads over the number 2. All other gaps on track have opened up to a little over 1 second now. Can't really call this a DRS train if it's really just one car getting DRS. We'll call it the DRS duo. Or the DRSS, the drag reduction system solo. Now the gap separating P1 and P2, 127.2 to a 127.2. Colin Edwards sets his personal fastest lap of the race on the previous occasion. Oh, and there goes Colin Edwards off the racing circuit, coming in through turn 8 and 9. Loses a marginal amount of time. Now 8/10 is turned into double that, right around 1.9 seconds separating P1 and P2, as well as his tires getting a little bit damaged, worse for wear. That's really what's going to slow him down considerably. He was pushing at the absolute limit and pushed it a little too far over the edge. Cody Lawrence obviously keeping it within the bounds or the confines of his abilities, as he looked really well reserved in the qualifying session. Just about a third of the way through this race. It's looking to be all quiet on the Western front now. Cody Lawrence leads over Colin Edwards by 2.1 seconds, and a 17-second gap back to Trent H. running the C2 compound tire. And Twisted Jack 4.3 away. Cody Fowers 39 seconds down, after a lap 1 incident forced him to the back of the pack. James Shorter running in 6th place, and then Pete Rader in 7th place, driving the number 55. We're seeing the 6th place car of James Shorter of Audi into pit lane. And it looks like Shorter's pitting this one right at the 1/3 mark, it looks like. Switching over to watch Trent H in third place. And we're going to keep an eye on his lap times. He's lapping at around 128.3 on the previous occasion, about a half second slower than Colin Edwards on the last one. 128 flat being his personal best. On the C2 compound, it looks like Trent H and Pete Rader are. Cody Fowers into the pit lane now. And will he also pit onto the C2 compound? Fifth place car of Cody Fowers does pit onto the C2 compound, hoping to make it to the end of the race. With just a single stop, it looks like. C3 compound for all the other drivers on the racing circuit. Trent H on that C2 compound, Cody Lawrence on the C3, Colin Edwards C3, Twisted Jack, and James Shorter still on the C3 compound. It looks like Colin Edwards has actually dip-dived and dodged his way down pit road now. Seemingly having enough of those tires that he was on. 128.3 being the last lap that he ran. And a quick splash and dash, and he's back out onto the racetrack. Colin Edwards picked the C2 compound, trying to perform an undercut onto Cody Lawrence on this occasion. Will he be able to pull one out of the rabbit's hat tonight? Practically a free pit stop because he still came out in front of Trent H. .1 ahead. Will Cody Lawrence get the same respect when he decides to come down pit lane? 127.9 being his last lap. And he does decide to come down pit lane. And this won't give Colin Edwards much of an opportunity to get an undercut done with just one lap running. But he's coming around the penultimate corner. And Cody Lawrence has already gotten his tires changed and he's rearing and ready to go. Colin Edwards pushing like his life depended on it, coming down the front straightaway now. And there goes Cody Lawrence into P1, into T1 in P1. And the gap is still sitting right around 3 seconds separating the two drivers. .128.6 for Trent H on the previous lap. Twisted Jack 130.4. Pete Rader 128.3. Cody Fowler is running a 131 run, and James Shorter running a 131.8. Not too much discombobulation in the timing tower. All the drivers respectively running where they roughly should be, except for Pete Rader. Who had that big shunt into the pit wall. Running a little out of place now in 5th place. Lap 17 of 35 about to be completed. That means we're just about halfway done with this race. Let's do a little bit of commentator math. Figure out where Colin Edwards will come out in the championship. If he gets another 21 points, that'll leave him with 101 points. So he'll be in front of Matt Chevry, in front of Pete Rader, in front of Trent H. Colin Edwards could take P2 in this championship if he keeps running around like this. Of course, commentator's math is just done on a cocktail napkin and with a maraschino cherry stem. It's not actually real math. It's just imaginary math. Would you believe me if I told you that this track has the same elevation change as Paul Ricard? Unbelievable. Definitely feels like PGO has more elevation change than Paul Ricard, but what do I know? .9 would be Cody Lawrence's best lap. 127.1 for Colin Edwards. And Cody Lawrence actually taking to the C4 compound. I was wondering why he was so fast, or so much faster. That's because he's running the softs. And does he think he can make it to the end? Running at around 2 seconds a lap faster, it'll take him quite some time to develop a free pit stop over Colin Edwards. Looking to be able to do such a thing. Cody Lawrence in the Red Bull Racing Team crosses the line, and a 126.0 out of him. When will these soft tires decide to fall off finally? Done 5 laps already on these soft compounds. And the degradation has got to be hitting sooner rather than later. James Shorter gets a 5-second penalty for cutting the racing circuit. Sixth place of Cody Fowers into the pits, Shorter into the pits as well. Shorter and Fowers inverting their positions down pit lane. Will this be Cody Lawrence's time to come to the pits? Nope. He decides to stay out on this occasion. Past the 7th place car, the 6th place car of Shorter just up the road coming through turn 1 now. .5 for Edwards. He is losing about a second a lap only now. Hemorrhaging that lead. And yes, it looks like Cody Lawrence may get a free pit stop out of this, but with only 14 laps remaining, I'm starting to think maybe not. Keeping an eye on the lap times for Cody. Let's see what he's able to produce. 126.5. The lap times are definitely trickling away from him. He definitely doesn't have it covered off just yet. Trent now coming into the in and down pit lane. Keep an eye on his compound tires. He's on the C3 compound. Let's see what he switches up to. Trent H going on to mediums. The C3 compound. And now that car behind him is Pete Rader, but no, this will not be a pass for position if Rader can catch up. He's still a minute 25 off the good from Twisted Jack. Unable to recover all that time that he lost by clattering into pit wall and taking that additional pit stop. Raiders had to pit twice already. There goes Colin Edwards into pit lane now. And I'm not sure that I agree with this decision out of Colin Edwards. He goes on the C3 compound. I think at this rate, he's just handed Cody Lawrence the lead indefinitely because he won't have enough time to catch back up. And now he's got to make a move around 2 cars to get back to where he was. He's got to get past Pete Rader and then also get past Trent H. And this will award Cody Lawrence that free pit stop that he was looking for. There are no headlights on these Formula One cars, so no flashy of the headlights to the back marker. Pete Rader is just going to have to be aware enough to pull over. Shots here at PGO. There it is, the move gets done. Colin Edwards gets by Rader. Now he's got to make another move to get past Trent H, who may have just split this one down the middle. And said, I'm going to only go for a 1-stop this event. You guys can go for that 2-stop. Oh, and Colin Edwards almost losing the vehicle. Managed to keep it underneath him, but just barely doing so. Colin Edwards lapping at 27.1 compared to Trent H 26.9 on the previous occasion. Not necessarily going Colin Edwards' way just yet, but Trent H is on the older compound tire. Trent came in 4 laps ago. Colin Edwards just came in 3 laps ago. And like I said, not sure if I agreed with Colin Edwards' strategy here. If Trent H and Cody Lawrence can potentially run it long into these stints, or if Trent H can run it to the end on this compound, he'll potentially walk home with P2. And Cody still has a free pit stop to his name with a 39-second gap in front of him. Who knows when Cody Lawrence will decide to come in with the Red Bull Racing number 11. .8 on that last lap. He was about a 10th slower than Trent. Maybe it'll be this lap that he comes in. And it is this lap that he decides to come in. Getting down to the braking marker board for the pit lane. And this should be a quick stop for Cody Lawrence, and back out he ends up rolling. Yes. Wow, that was a very fast pit stop for Cody Lawrence. And he's back on that same C4 compound. And he's going to run it another 8 laps to the end of this one. It's like the gap didn't even come down. .9 for Trent, 26.3 for Colin Edwards on that last lap. So finally things are going Colin Edwards' way. And he can try to catch back up. Battle for 6th and 7th is within 2.5 seconds. Shorter leads over Cody Fowers. .130.5 to 130.4. .131.4 to 130.5 on that last occasion. Looks like Cody Fowers is gaining speed on Shorter, and so is Colin Edwards on Trent. Second now between Fowers and Shorter. The DRS wing should be open. There it is. And he is chasing him down. Fastest lap of the race going to be Cody Lawrence. Now on that 125.4. And there goes the move from Fowers on Shorter. Lap traffic giveth, lap traffic taketh away. Gap now 1.9 between Trent H and Colin Edwards. With James Shorter, he has to get past next. Oh no, and there goes Trent H tumbling down the order. A huge mistake out of Trent. That'll be a move done and dusted for Colin Edwards. Huge moment of sadness as the battle was brewing up to be something for just a few moments. Side-by-side racing has resumed, this time between Cody Fowers and James Shorter. Shorter gets through on Fowers as he was letting by Colin Edwards in an awkward spot. Now looking to the inside line. Will he make a dive bomb move going in towards turn 19, avoiding the dive bomb? Looking like he's going to get something set up going in towards turn 1. The DRS should be open for Cody Fowers. Side by side, down the start, finish straight, into the kink, and then now into turn one. It looks like a Petronas car sized gap for him to fill. And he snaps right on back through. Fowers in the 44, gets through on the 27. Now Trent H getting by, and then this battle is going to resume. Lap traffic giveth, lap traffic taketh away, but only from themselves. Shorter gets by Fowers one more time. The Audi leads over the Petronas Mercedes. Quiet with anticipation. I'm looking to see who's got the best lap time right now. James Shorter puts down a 32.4, 33.1 for Fowers. On a lap 31 of 35, 5 laps remaining. And a bit of an oversteer moment there from James Shorter, and Fowers trailing in behind and giving him the breathing room that he desperately needed to regain that track space. Fowers should know that he's faster by this point in time of the event. We all know passing is one thing. Excuse me, catching is one thing, passing is another. James Shorter on the C3 compound, Cody Fowers on the C2 compound. Both drivers having made 2 pit stops. Speed is there for Fowers coming down the kink and in towards T1 on the optimum line. Will he get the move done on Fowers? Not this time around. Shorter still holds on to the lead. Looking to the inside line, coming in towards turn 3. Now who's on the optimum line at the exit of turn 3? Fowers gets the move done on Shorter finally. It's been a long time coming, but he finally gets the move done and dusted. Cody Lawrence still has a free pit stop to his name. Cody Fowers almost drifting into pit lane, resumes the battle with James Shorter. Holy Toledo, that was a close call. And thank goodness that was a safe rejoin. Otherwise, that could have ended in tears for fears. like I was saying, I think Cody Lawrence still has a clear advantage. He could almost take an additional pit stop, and Cody Fowers needs to be careful that he doesn't do that too many times. Otherwise, he could get a 5-second penalty for cutting, and he does get a 5-second penalty for cutting. And this looks like it'll be James Shorter's position. Before the end of this race, he's got to pull out another 3.5 seconds in the next 2 laps. I don't think he's got enough time in this race to be able to do so. Ironically so, for the 44, it is hammer time. Now all quiet on the western front. White flag lap coming out. Drivers will get the checkered flag on the next occasion. Cody Lawrence has come from nearly P last to P1 in this race, making up 3 moves off the breakaway. And a hard-fought battle for third and first in this race. He's doing a good job to command the championship and a good job commanding this race. Cody Lawrence, the man, might be untouchable. He might need more success ballast added to his car now. He's coming around the final corner for the final time. And that'll be it. Cody Lawrence won the race, taking away P1 from all the drivers. Twist Jack coming home in 4th. Pete Rader will bring home 5th. The driver who started in 1st tumbled and fell down the order just a little bit. Colin Edwards with a very hard-fought 2nd place for himself. Bringing home P2 and the silver medal. Trent H will cross the line in 3rd place. Good finish for Trent H. Cody Fowers almost pulling out that 5-second gap that he needed to make it to the end. But ultimately will finish, in front of James Shorter by just a hair. Cody Fowers pulling out that 5.5-second gap that he needed when he crossed the line. James Shorter crossing the line in 7th place. Crazy results at the back of the field. Cody Fowers doing some donuts, well deserved. Able to pull out that 5.5-second gap, getting to the checkered flag. Absolutely phenomenal. Friendly wheel wiggle there between James Shorter and Cody Fowers. And that's not going to shake up too many things in the championship now. Colin Edwards should bring home P2. Trent H in 3rd place. Twisted Jack in 4th. And Raider in 5th. Cody Fowers in 6th. Shorter in 7th. And Cody Lawrence, of course, still dominating this championship, will continue to take the lead as we head into Mugello next week. Thank you so much, everybody, for hanging out with us. Thank you very much for watching this wonderful stream brought to you by Slipstream Racing. If you liked what you saw, go ahead and like, subscribe, ring the bell. Don't forget to follow, all that good stuff that you're supposed to say. Thank you so much for sticking around with us. I've taken you from green to checkered flag. I'm your host, Sagar Bakshi. Have a wonderful night and stay safe. Make sure you join us next week, next time for Mugello. Good night.